Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Mandalore in Lego. Last week I worked on the bridge section just here and also the landing pad on the end. And I did say that this week I wanted to work on the section that's just below the floating building here and also the part of this section of the building as well. However, I've had an email come through from lego.com and it's saying that the last parts, or at least I hope they're the last parts, I need for my Mandalorian Starfighter have been dispatched. So if they arrive, I want to carry on working on this and get that vehicle all finished off. I think it'd be really nice to have it stood up there in its permanent position. The other thing I want to work on is the landing pad on here. I believe I've got all the parts I need to get that all done. So I'm going to start off by concentrating on the landing pad whilst I wait for those pieces to arrive. Hopefully they arrive in the next few days and then I can get the Starfighter all finished as well. But anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get the bricks and plates out and let's get started. I raised the front of the building up just here as it was one brick and a plate too low compared with the art bricks at the back here. However, I don't want to be seeing the edge of these art bricks. I could put some half Technic pins in here and attach something to it. However, I think it's going to be a lot tidier if I put some snot bricks all the way along and then attach something to the side that's going to cover it over. And I just need to go down by 3 studs. So I'm probably going to find some plates out and I might use the plates that are very similar to the minifigure plates, but in light bluish grey, because I know I've got a whole load of those. And I could, if I wanted to, put another detail across the studs in the centre of those 3x4 plates. So I just need to find out a load of snot bricks so I can go all the way around this area. And then what I'll probably do is build this area up by another brick and then plate over the top of that. So let's see what I can find out and then I can get that section all completed. And here we have the start of the landing pad. Originally I was just going to have it so it was on this level just here. However, after I started building I thought, do you know what, I think it's going to look a little bit better if it's raised up by a couple of bricks. Hence that's why I changed halfway through that time lapse there. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing on the top of here just yet, whether or not to go for a snot technique or just do part tile and part snot technique. I want to make sure that I get enough details in on the landing pad. However, due to the fact that the Kom'rk is such a big starship, it is going to cover up quite a lot of it, so there's no point in putting loads of details in that are just going to be hidden. So I just need to get the right balance on there. Along this side here, as you can see, I've tiled all the way along, and that's so I don't have to get my hands underneath this part further down the line. However, the bridge does need to attach, but I'm not sure whereabouts I'm going to attach it along here. So it's going to be a lot easier just to take the 1 or 2 tiles up rather than try and get the tiles in afterwards. But I think the bridge is actually going to cut to this level here as opposed to the lower section. But what we need to do now, work out what we're going to be doing on the top here and also how I'm going to finish off the edges of the lower part. And it looks like the landing pad is just about the right side. Got 4 studs clear on the left here and 1 on the right. So as long as I put it on there diagonally, that's going to be absolutely perfect. It also gives me a good idea of knowing where I've got enough space to put any added mini builds on there, whether it's a refueling canister or whether it's containers or anything like that. But now I know roughly where it's going to go. I can also work out where I can put details on the landing pad lines wise that are really going to stand out. So let's start that part next and I'll check back in once I make a bit more progress. And here we have the landing platform. I've just filled it in with the 1x4 dark bluish grey bricks to start with. Just wanted to make sure I had enough of those. Now what I need to do is put the lines in there, which I'm going to be having. And I've looked online for some inspiration. I've come up with this image, which is giving me some ideas. I just need to work out what colour I'm going to do the lines on here. Originally I was going to go for white, however I think that's going to clash a little bit too much with the Mandalorian Starfighter, so it's either going to be a case of doing it in the light tan colour, or I may just continue using the light bluish grey, because I know that goes well. They go well together on the line side of things. So let's take this section away, we'll see what we can come up with, and I'll check back in once I've done so. And here we have the design pattern on the top of the landing pad, and a row of tiles put all the way around the edge. Oh, these three sides, should I say, for the back here. Still need to work out what I'm going to be doing along the front edge on here, and also the last couple of studs around the outside as well. But really happy with how this pattern came out. Very close to the source material that I found online. But I'm just going to have a good think about what I want to do on the front section here before I do any more work to the landing pad. And the parcel has finally arrived, and in here are hopefully the last pieces I'm going to need for the Mandalorian Starfighter. So I'm going to crack this open, and then I can finally get to work on the Starship. I've done pretty much all of the tiling that needs to happen on the top of the wing here. The one thing I'm going to be concentrating on next are the engines. I feel like they're a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this back section here and just have the 4x4 round plate with the tiles on there. So hopefully by shrinking that's going to give it the right size I'm after. And then once I've done that, I'll start working on the engine house, or the engine cover that's going to be going on the top and the bottom of the wing. The engine size has been reduced and the engine cover has been created, and that has taken me absolutely ages, so long to do. And it's made up of two sections. The first one is this part just here, which has just got a hinge to enable me to put each side down. And I'm considering changing these two outer ones to dark bluish grey. I think that'd be more accurate to the source material. And then the centre section, again, is on a hinge piece, and then the outer wedge plates, they're also on another hinge, and that enables me to have it at the two different angles. But trying to get the angles right on this section did take, as I said, so long to do. It was just couldn't get it to look right, but I did get there eventually. Now, one problem this has caused is I've had to use this wedge plate just here and here, and I had actually ordered, I've only got one pair which I'd ordered, and they were for the top half of the wing, so I now need to order in another four pairs of those just so I can get this completed. And I have a feeling that those parts are on the standard list on lego.com, which means it could take another month for those to arrive. This wing has taken so long to get done, a lot longer than I was anticipating, but I'm really happy with how it's looking now that it's all tiled off. It just looks nice and tidy. Anyway, now that I've got all the wing done, what I can do is concentrate on the fuselage. There's quite a few things on that I'd like to amend. And turning our attention back to the fuselage here, and there's a couple of bits I want to amend on here. First of all, this part here, I feel like it needs to be raised up a little bit. This section here, I feel like should be flush with the bottom of the windscreen and not then stepping up like it is at the moment. The cockpit, I have got a new glass piece, or a new piece that's going to be going in place of the glass. It's in a light bluish grey. I think I made a mess up when I ordered the piece in. However, I do actually own one in trans clear, so I could change it over to there further down the line, but at least I can put the grey one on there just to see how it looks. Hopefully it'll look good, and we know we're on the right track with that. With this section here, it does come off quite easily. It's just attached to a load of jumper plates below there, so I can pull the whole section up, put a brick below the jumper plates, and then stick it back down, and it's job done. And then I just need to amend this section just here. So let's make those amendments and see how it comes out. And here we have the revised cockpit, and so much happier with the overall look of this Starship. I think it looks a lot more accurate to the source material. It would be nice to change the colour of this out at some stage. However, I'm not sure what to change it over to. I'm not offended by the light bluish grey. I do think it works quite well, but I'm wondering whether black would be a better option. Now, the cockpit section here, the roof part, I have to break one part off to get in there. This section is kept together using a 2x6 plate, and at the moment the studs at the back there and these 3x is what's connecting all together. However, if I change these over to the modified plates that are in like an L shape, that would work a lot better. So I might do that. I might change those over to black, do that all section there, and then it'd just be the 2 bricks at the back there that are keeping it all in place. And the advantage of doing that, I'll be able to take that off easily enough to film inside. Inside at the moment there is just purely the chair. I haven't put any controls or computers or anything else like that in there. Obviously, as I've mentioned in the previous update, the cockpit is not to scale. The whole Starship's not. In here you should have at least 3 seats. It's quite a big craft, but obviously I've had to scale this down just so I can fit it in the Mandalore mock. Still need to do a bit of tiling and plate work on the front of the wing here. That still needs to be done. I have got the parts, so I'm going to crack on with that. And I also need to do the greebling down there. And once I've done that, I can then start working on the underside of the Starship, because at the moment all it is exposed Technic beams. But again, that's something that shouldn't take too long to sort out. Anyway, let's get back to building and see what else we can get done with it. And here is the Starship all perched on the top of the platform. And I've just put some bricks there for the front landing gear for the time being. And I do think that this landing pad could do with being a few studs wider, just so I can rotate the ship around a little bit. So I just need to decide whether or not I want to extend it. Due to the fact that this is a snot technique, I could very easily extend it by a couple of studs and it wouldn't be an issue at all. It'd be quite a simple job to do. So that's something I need to think about over the next week or so. I was hoping to get a lot more done on the platform, do the mini builds to go here, like a refueler, and put some lights coming up from here, just like warning lights, and also get the railing put along the very edge of this part as well. However, I've just run out of time to do so. And also, if I do extend the platform, then there's not going to be room for any minifigures to walk around the edge anyway. So again, that's just something I need to have a good think about, how I want to go forward with this. But yeah, there it is. I was hoping again to get more done on the Starship, but I've just run out of time this week. It's took me a lot longer to do these sections here. Although I prototyped what I wanted to do, it didn't quite work out when it came to it. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Mandalore or building Gotham, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Now, I was hoping to be getting a Gotham update out on Wednesday of this coming week, or Thursday, sorry. However, the weather is turning once again, and I really do need to get the roof all finished. All the boards are on there, but I just need to get either a felt or some other material on the very top of it. Whether or not I'm going to get a chance to work on Gotham, I'm not sure, but I'll try my hardest to do so. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.